Oh, Tom Everett. I was a student here from 1969 through 1973. I've been a teacher here for nearly 10 years. I coached wrestling, worked with different students, ninth grade, senior level English teacher.
Why did you come back to Noonan High School? Have you worked with people that used to be your teachers? What was that like?
It's like they know all your bad secrets. You hope they've forgotten, but Mrs. Landreth never forgets. And when she makes me nervous, I call her Miss Andrews, like in the old days. When I was just a kid. Kind of neat. Not to sound like a complete Pollyanna, but this is a neat place, and I'm tickled to finish my career here before I retire. Interest in school, good location, great students, good kids. So just a good idea to come back and finish up. I think it's neat. I want to help rebuild the wrestling program here. I was a wrestler when I was in high school here, and it's just something we wanted to do.
What was the most challenging aspect of your job?
Personalities. Dealing with the different students, different needs. How do you approach one student versus another? How tough are you with one kid? How many chances do you give another kid? Trying to help them along, goose them in the right direction, not just with their knowledge of education or their class academic work, but how they're supposed to act, what you're supposed to do, how you should be to tell people you're a Noonan graduate.
What part of the job did you enjoy the most?
Same thing. Dealing with the kids, dealing with the personalities, knowing them a little bit better, talking to them, watching how they improve and grow. It's a really interesting situation to watch a young, scared ninth grader graduating as a senior across the stage and seeing how they've grown and changed and knowing they're heading off to do something pretty good most of the time.
What is the relationship between Noonan High School and the community? How important is that relationship?
No, hugely important. I go back a long way. We were actually a county system and Noonan city system. We merged those together when I started school here. It's a difficult transition. Noonan has been a very centerpiece of this county for many, many years. The other schools have grown, East Coweta, Northgate. We've lost one high school, Western, which we could probably still use with our population. But it's just been a center of everything. High schools here are what hold communities together. Without East Coweta, Northgate, and Noonan High School, we would not be the same county whatsoever.
In your opinion, what has always made NHS a special place to attend school?
Oh, I don't want to say it like this, but the teachers that I was lucky enough to have when I was here, I would hate to embarrass them, but they meant a great deal in my life. It's one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing. Can't tell you how many times, sometimes just working with me, and sometimes a good swat upside the head like Mark Harmon helped me out a little bit.
What are the biggest changes you have seen from the time you were a student until now?
Young lady, I'm really old. That's a very difficult question. I would just say the information that the students and young people have to deal with, I was lucky. This was a rural county. I was very naive. I played ball, went to class. There are so many stresses and strains and situations growing up that I didn't have to deal with. I think the kids do very well most of the time academically, but I think we rush them too hard with living experiences. Really still need to be a kid. That's probably the most difficult thing, watching how people have to grow up much faster in certain ways.
Do you recall any historical events occurring that you heard about while in school, such as JFK's assassination or 9/11?
All right, once again, I'm old. I was in the third grade with JFK's assassination. I still remember our teachers crying on the recess field and us getting shortened. But here at Noonan, I think the biggest thing I dealt with was when the schools integrated and we merged the systems, brought Central into Noonan. It seems like such a simple thing. The Central Panthers, the Noonan Tigers mascots, and somebody had to come up with an idea, and we merged the cats and got Cougars, learning to deal with each other. Students now, we have problems, but kids take it for granted sitting next to people in class. There weren't that many people that were different from me when I started school. And then all of a sudden we were thrown into this situation. We had to deal with each other. In a way, it was almost like the adults made the young people deal with a situation they were unwilling to deal with themselves. It's very tough. Kids were under a lot of pressures. We had freedom marchers protesting outside the schools, disrupted 2 or 3 events where people had to, wanted to show how they felt about a situation. It's just really difficult, very stressful on the kids. Now, I was lucky. I played football. Our coaches told us, you get in trouble, you're dead. So we worked real hard and kind of built a rapport. And I think with a lot of the guys, somebody that struggles and works hard and bleeds the same blood, so to speak, at practice, it made it a lot easier for us than it was for some of the kids that just went to class together.